Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen, or welcome if you're new. My name is Bethany, or Budget Bethany, and welcome to this week's What's for Dinner video. I like to share these with y'all every single week in hopes to give y'all some inspiration to cook at home for your family as well.
But you came along and showed me how to love without limits, to have a good time.
Alright y'all, so to kick off this week's What's for Dinner, we're going to start by making some sticky chicken. And Tamara from Southern Wife Everyday Life actually shared this over on her channel last week in the cookbook collab. So I'll have her channel linked down below and you can go check out her video with the cookbook and everything like that. But it reminded me of my barbecue sauce that I made last week that I put on my grilled chicken. And it's basically the same ingredients except for this has honey in it and my recipe didn't. So then I just mixed all that up together, added my chicken into my cast iron skillet, and covered the chicken in the barbecue sauce mixture. Oh, and of course, I seasoned up my chicken really generously first.
So I don't see us stopping now. My life's an adventure, 'cause you came along and showed me how to love without limits, to have a good time. Now my life's an adventure, and you're the reason why. Far away from the city lights, so small under the night sky. It's just us two, but
And then for sides, I just made some of these Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits, and of course I just made them by the directions on the box. And I also opened up a can of green beans and made some chicken flavored pasta sides, and that was our sides to go with our sticky chicken. And then here's the sticky chicken once it come out of the oven, and I did bake it on 350 for about 30 minutes. I just like to make sure my chicken is completely done. And then there's our biscuits, and then here is my sides that I was telling y'all about, my green beans and my 2 packs of pasta sides, the chicken flavored. You know, I just made those by the directions on the back of the package as well. And this was dinner on that night, y'all. And like I said before, I'll have Tamara's channel with the cookbook video with this recipe and the cookbook. Maybe you want to go purchase the cookbook that recipe come out of, because it was really delicious. And then I also made some of these no-bake red velvet cheesecake bites that, you know, you buy from Walmart, and I just made those by the directions on the box as well. And then on the next night, I grilled up some good old hamburgers. And then when I make hamburgers, I usually keep it pretty simple. I just got my ground beef right there, got some breadcrumbs, got some of this famous Dave's steak and burger seasoning, and some Worcestershire sauce, and I also cracked in 1 egg. Just use my hands, mix that all up together, and then pat out into patties.
Don't wanna wake up, I might be dreaming. I might be dreaming. You're stirring things up, my heart is beating. My heart is beating. I won't let go, I can't say no. My heart is yours, so I say here we go. You do that something to me, you do that something to my heart. I give up, you must stop. I'm like a speed.
I did have my grill preheating to 350 degrees as I was making the hamburger patties. Then I also wanted to check that it had pellets in there, and then I'm going to use my brush and clean off the racks really good. And then we're just going to throw the hamburgers right on there once it reached the 350 degrees temperature. To go with our burgers, I'm going to be making some home fries. And when I say home fries, it's just potatoes that I cut up into the french fry shape. So I'm washing them off really good right here. And then we're going to just take our knife and dice them up the best that we can into a french fry shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's what makes these so delicious, is they're rustic looking. They're just like Granny used to make, and they're so delicious. You can never go wrong with a home fry. By the way, the potato that had the little ugly spot on it, I just cut that spot off, and then I continued cutting into the potato shapes. And after I got through cutting all the potatoes up into the french fry shapes, I washed them off one more time just to make sure they were good and clean. And then as I was preparing my potatoes, I had my oil heating up, so once they get washed, I'll just drop those into the hot grease and let them fry up until they're good and soft.
So
Once they come out the grease, I just sprinkled on some seasoning salt and some garlic powder.
Don't wanna wake up, I might be dreaming. I might be dreaming. You're stirring things up, my heart is beating.
My kids prefer hot dogs over hamburgers, so I'm throwing them on a pack of hot dogs with the hamburgers. The hamburgers are almost done, so I'll just let the hot dogs cook while the hamburgers finish cooking.
Oh, I say here we go. You do that something to me, you do that something to my heart. I give up, you won't stop, I'm like a spinning top. You do that something to me, you do that something to my heart.
Then here you have it. Here is our hamburgers and hot dogs and our home fries. Y'all, if you have the opportunity to get a pellet grill, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a woman. There is nothing that I cannot cook on that pellet grill, y'all. I love it. I love it more than my husband, I think. But anyway, here's our hamburger and our french fries, and then I diced up some pineapple, and that was dinner on that night. Then on the next night, I made this cheesy Gordita crunch ring, and I found this recipe over on TikTok, so I'll link the girls' TikTok down below that I found this on. All you'll need is some crescent rolls, some shredded cheddar cheese, some tortilla chips, as well as some ground beef, and I seasoned it up with some taco seasoning. And then you'll also need some of this Velveeta squeeze cheese or any kind of like liquidy cheese. Then I've got the cheesy Mexican rice right there for a side that I did not even cook. I opted to not even cook it because the little ring was enough for my family. So right here I browned up my ground beef, and I'm just mixing in my taco seasoning.
Got a song, you hum along, and we have fun when we're
Then I've got my cast iron skillet, and I'm just going to place one of my Pyrex glass bowls in the center of it. That just kind of gives you a guide to go by to keep the ring in a circle. Then I'm going to take my crescent rolls and throw those on to the cast iron skillet all in a circle.
so easy, feeling easy to me, and it makes you kick in.
And then this is how they should look. And then we're going to squirt on some of our Velveeta cheese and just kind of, you know, mix that around on there really generously.
And again and again and again and again and again, I want this flow. Oh, baby. And again and again and again and again and again and again, I play it on.
The next step was actually to add the tortillas, but I decided I was going to add my ground beef next, and then I would add some more cheese, and then I would add my tortillas, just so that you can get that extra little crunch whenever you take a bite into it. I just felt like the tortilla on top just kind of set it off, made it a little bit different. I kind of made it into my own. I really can never go by a recipe. I always put my own spin on it. So this was really good, y'all. My husband, he could not get enough of it. I've got to make him another one. It was so good. He said he needs another one ASAP. On top of the tortilla chips, I did sprinkle on some of this shredded cheddar cheese, and then I just kind of used my fingers and pinched the sides together to make sure everything stays on the inside, and then I just baked it by the directions on the back of the crescent roll package.
And living gets so easy, easy. And again and again and again and again and again and again, I play it on.
And here is how she come out. Like I said, y'all, my husband was in love with this. My kids loved it. I loved it. It was a win-win. I highly recommend it, and I would definitely have her TikTok channel linked down below for y'all to go check out. On the next night, we went to my mama's house, and she cooked us some good old fried pork chops, all fresh veggies that she brought from a local farmer's market. We had fried green tomatoes, we had corn on the cob, we had stewed squash, and we had some fresh green beans. And then I figured, since I was at my mom and daddy's house, that I would leave in a few clips of my family enjoying their dinner. I know some of my OG subscribers will really enjoy this, and y'all wait till you see how Chloe is enjoying her corn. Is that corn good? How good?
We got mayonnaise from one side to the other. You hear me? I love that, man.
It's good, ain't it, sister?
You don't know what to miss.
Girl! She doesn't need it.
There you go.
All right, y'all, so for the last dinner this week, it's just going to be some good old low country bull. So all you'll need is some shrimp, some potatoes, some sausage, some corn on the cob, and some Old Bay seasoning. And all I do is I just wash my potatoes, dice them up into chunks, and you can kind of cut them up, you know, kind of chunky into bigger chunks because you are going to boil them very first. That way they'll be, you know, not falling apart by the time everything else gets done, but you just want to kind of boil them for about 10 minutes and then throw in your sausage and your corn. Boil for about 10-15 more minutes and then throw in your shrimp very last because it does not take shrimp long at all to cook. And oh my gosh, y'all, I missed one, so I'm going to cut that up really quickly, and then I'm going to add some water and bring these taters to a boil. So like I mentioned earlier, I do let my potatoes boil for about 10 minutes, and then I throw in my corn on the cob. Let that go for about 10 more minutes, and then I throw in my sausage. And I do like to cut my sausage up. I don't like to add like the whole piece of sausage in there. Just makes for easier eating. And then I let that go for about 10 more minutes, and then I throw in my shrimp very last because it does not take shrimp long to cook, like I said. And especially if it's fresh shrimp like I have, the longer you cook them, the harder they are to hull.
We are all about the good times. Dance until it feels alright.
We do prefer our boils to be on the spicier side, so I add a whole bunch of Old Bay seasoning, but of course you can add however little or however much you like.
Forget all your sorrows, let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax, all your problems will fade.
And now finally the shrimp are going in.
Time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes, I know you're all about the good vibes. Let's have a drink, just relax, all your problems.
And then this part is optional. You do not have to add lemon juice, but I like to add a little bit into mine.
There's a party in the backyard.
And I like to serve my bowl with some melted butter, so I just melt a stick of butter with some of that Old Bay and some garlic powder, and I pour that all over the top.
We are all about the good vibes. We are all about the good times. Dance until it feels alright. All night, we're all about the good vibes. All about the good vibes.
We all are seafood crazy in our house, so we love a good old seafood bowl. Whenever I cook it, the kids are just so excited. But y'all, that's it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave me a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because I would really love for you to join my YouTube family. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, y'all.